guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a great day. So you can obviously know what this video is by the title, and it's a sick day makeup look. I have been sick recently for the past 5 or so days. I'm a little bit better now, but I thought what better time to do a sick day makeup look when I'm actually sick, so you can get the full look of how it will look when you are sick. So disgusting. Basically what I mean by a sick day makeup look is when you're obviously sick, like me, but you have to go out the house, like you have to go back to work, or you know, you have to go shopping for some reason, or you know, you just have to go out in public. You can't stay in and hibernate. So if you don't want to wear makeup when you're sick, that's completely fine, but this is for the people who obviously have to go out in public and they feel like they look disgusting, they feel disgusting, and they want a little bit of makeup on just to pick their skin up, make them look a bit less sick and a bit more human, and make them feel a bit more human as well. So of course, if you like me, please subscribe to my channel and please like the video as well, and leave a comment if you would be so kind. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so what this look is basically going to entail is just evening out the skin tone, obviously getting rid of the redness. It will be very, very minimal makeup, quite natural looking. I feel like when I'm sick, I don't really want to wear a full face of caked on makeup, so this is like quite minimal. Everything I've picked as well is like hydration and like luminous promoting and stuff like that. So what I did before coming on camera is I went and had a really good shower, showered all the gross grime off, you know, nice and clean, shaved everywhere, lovely. And then when I came out of the shower, I did 2 face masks. I did 2 sheet face masks. One was really intensely hydrating and the other one was really hydrating and anti-aging as well. I find whenever I get sick, my skin gets really dull and really horrible and really dehydrated. So I found that doing the face mask, it really put loads of moisture back into my skin. And I did the first face mask and I thought, yeah, this will be enough. And then I took it off and the face mask was like dry. If you have ever used a sheet mask before, when you pull them out of their packet, they're basically dripping, sopping wet with like all the essence and stuff. So I put that on, I left it on for about 20 minutes. And then when I peeled it off, like especially around my nose area, it was bone dry. Like it felt like those pore clogging masks you can put on to take your pores out of your nose. Like it was that dry. So then I thought to myself, you know, my skin doesn't feel that great still. Obviously need some more moisture. So then I did the second face mask, the anti-aging hydration sheet mask. And when I took that one off, then I felt like I had a bit more moisture in my skin. And then after I did those, I went in with my usual face serum. I did my eye cream and I did my usual bedtime intense moisturizer all down my neck and everywhere. I moisturised my whole body, you know, I did the whole pampering thing. I even painted my nails pink. So then when I woke up this morning, I was feeling 100% better. I still have the sore throat and whatnot, but you know, you can't see that, it's fine. So I feel like I have given my skin a bit of a pick-me-up, which is obviously very, very important when you are going to be wearing makeup, because you don't want to have really, really dry, flaky, you know, dull, horrible skin when you're doing makeup. You want to get rid of all the dead skin cells and put loads of moisturiser and hydration into your skin before you do your makeup. So then your makeup looks and feels a lot nicer and lasts a lot longer throughout the day. So that was my preparations before makeup. Obviously I woke up this morning, washed my face as usual, put my usual face cream and eye cream on, and now I'm here. So that was a very, very long explanation. So before we begin, I have got a moisturised face, but I will be putting on this Radiance Boosting Cocktail by Soap & Glory. It's their Bright and Pearly Radiance Boosting Cocktail. It looks like this. It's basically just a really, really nice hydration serum that makes your skin look really nice and glowy, and it has made me look hella pink. Look how pink I look. Oh my god. It doesn't look like this in person, like, I don't look pink in person. Why do I look so pink on camera now? So next we're going to do actual primer. I have two different primers I'm going to be using. The first one is the new Fessional primer. It's the Pearl primer, and this is the Soft Radiance Face Primer to minimise the look of pores. It's the Pearl primer, so it's quite light reflecting as well, which is what we're going for because we don't want no dull skin today. I'm just putting this all over my T-zone, on the bits of my cheeks with the big pores, and on the forehead a bit as well. Next, for our last primer, I'm going to be using this little Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer, and it's the Base Hydrating Primer one. So it's the hydrating one. I do have the Radiance one as well, but I thought because we need the hydration, then I will use the hydration one because the Professional is quite radiance boosting. So I feel like mixing these two together will be quite a nice cocktail. So once they're all nicely pressed into the skin, we are all primed, looking smoothed out, feeling smoothed out, and are ready for our foundation. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation. The reason why I'm using this foundation is because it is quite lightweight, and it is a sort of foundation that makes your skin look like your skin but better. It just evens you out. It is so natural but really flawless at the same time. It's really quite hydrating as well. It's just a beautiful foundation. It is a little bit expensive, but it is just amazing. And to apply my foundation, I'm just going to be using my Real Technique sponge as I always do. Comes in a nice pump as well. I'm just going to pump it on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to apply this all over my face like a usual foundation. At the minute I've just done one half of my face just so you can see the difference. Like, you can see how natural it looks. It's a little bit dewy, gives a nice little sheen, but not too much, so you can wear this without powder, which is what I'm going to be doing today, because I find if you add too much powder on while you're sick and a bit dry around the nose and everything, it just clings to everything and makes it look horrendous. So I find that with this foundation, it dries to like a semi-matte finish, so you don't have to wear powder, which is really, really nice. It's so lightweight, like you can barely even feel it on your face, and it stays put. It is so good, and it just evens you out. Like, this side, the redness and, you know, the dark circles and everything are pretty much covered up and flawed out quite nicely, whereas this side I still look like I'm just death warmed up, which I feel like. I look sick on this side. So I'm just going to carry on and do the other side, and then I'll be right back. So that's my foundation done. It looks very, very pretty, I think. It's made me look a bit more human, even though this is not a good colour for me at the minute because I'm just so pale. But if you just imagine like that, it looks fine. But in the summer it matches me. But I just wanted to show you the Fenty Beauty foundation because, like, it is my favourite. It's one of my favourite foundations for every day and when I'm sick. But if you look at my face now, I don't look sick, which is what I'm going for. So yes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lighten the face back up again using a little bit of concealer and a little bit of liquid highlighter. So the concealer I'm using is the Bourjois Radiance Reveal Concealer. It corrects and illuminates for 24-hour hydration. It's basically everything we want right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put too much on because the foundation has covered up things quite nicely, and I find that if I put too much concealer on, it looks cakey and makes my under eyes and everything look a heck of a lot worse. Because this is an everyday look, I'm only going to do little dots just to brighten up the area, and also I'm going to put it down my nose, cupid's bow, and a bit on my chin and a tiny bit on my forehead. I'm just going to blend this out. That's just brightened up that eye area so nicely. It's such a lovely concealer, and it's quite natural as well, which is nice. It's not too thick and cakey, like it's quite watery and thin, which is nice. So what I am going to do is I am going to put a little bit of face powder under my eyes, just a little bit. I'm not going to bake or anything like that, so I'm just going to use the One Heck of a Blot by Soap and Glory, and I'm just going to do a really, really fine dusting. This is a really, really light powder, and it's a little bit yellowy as well, so it will counteract our horrible dark circles. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this under my eye and on top, just because my eyes are so creasy. I don't want them to crease really bad and like all our product just sink into them. And I'm just going to do my chin, mouth, top of the nose, and a little bit on my forehead, just because I tend to get a bit oily throughout the day, so I just want to make sure my makeup sticks in place. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try out a new liquid highlighter. I've not tried this before, it's still in the little packet. It is the Makeup Revolution Liquid Highlighter in Liquid Champagne. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this with a paddle brush. This is a BH Cosmetics No. 4 paddle brush. It says put a little bit on the tip of my paddle brush. I'm scared that this is going to be like really intense, so I'm going to scrape a bit off actually. There we go. And I'm going to apply this with my paddle brush onto my cheekbones. Okay then, highlight. Jeez, I think this was only like £4 as well, which is insane because it's so good. Look how I've even like dabbed over it with my makeup sponge with the foundation side just to dull it down a bit, and it's still like giving me Tin Man effects. This is amazing. Now this is going to make you dewy. I'm going to get a tiny bit more, a little spot, like the tiniest little spot ever. And it's going to go on my nose. Ooh. And my cupid's bow, and a bit on my chin. Bear in mind I have powdered this area, so I'm hoping it doesn't like disturb it too much. So I think that's all I'm going to do for this product because I'm kind of scared. I feel like it would be a really, really nice product to use for like full face glam, but considering we're wanting a natural kind of like everyday sick day look, I feel like it's a bit too much. So what I'm going to do, just to go over this highlight so it doesn't move, is I'm going to use a bit of the Essence Strobing highlighter. Now I like using this highlighter on a full face glam look, just dust away my bake, because it gives a really, really nice natural skin look when you've finished baking, because when you've done baking it can look kind of dry and crusty and a bit powdery and gross, but when you dust a bit of this over the top it kind of makes it look a bit more skin-like again. So I'm just going to dust this kind of T-zone area and on top of the highlight as well, just to make sure it's set down. So next I'm going to be using a bit of bronzer. Now I love this bronzer. Every time I open this bronzer the smell of it is just amazing. Oh god, it is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder, and it's a massive pan, but it smells like coconuts. I feel like when you're ill, bronzer is a really, really good thing to use if you are doing a ill makeup look, because it just puts some colour and some life and some like a bit of something back into your skin, because when you're ill your skin can become quite pale and quite dull and a bit bleh. But when you've got bronzer on, you've got a bit more colour in your face and it looks like you've been to the beach and it looks like you're really healthy. It's just a really good thing to use. So I'm just going to use this like everywhere. I'm going to dust it on my cheek, on my forehead. I keep looking in the viewfinder and my skin is looking all sorts of crazy on camera. Like, I don't know why, because it looks really nice in person. So for blush, I've decided to use one of my favourites. It's the Malani Luminoso blush. It's a really pretty peachy, goldeny, shimmery blush, and I feel like it would make us look really, really healthy and awake. So I'm going to put a little sprinkling of this on my cheeks. So for eyebrows, I'm tossed between doing natural eyebrows and filled in quite thick eyebrows. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade on like the outer half of my eyebrows. And then once I've done that, I'm going to be using the Essence Make Me Brow Gel Mascara on all the rest of it to kind of make it look like it's like natural but like still sort of sculpted, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just going to do it and I'll be back in a minute to show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is my eyebrows all done. They kind of turned out a little bit darker and thicker than what I imagined. Okay, for my eyes, I'm not going to bother with anything too dramatic. Like, I'm not even going to use eyeshadow primer. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the bronzer that we used all over our face, and this is going to go all over our eye. And then for the crease, just to give us that little bit of definition, I'm going to be using this MAC eyeshadow in Era. E-R-A. It's a satin eyeshadow. It's just like a mushroom colour. I don't know. So what I'm going to do first is take a fluffy brush into my bronzer, and this is just going to go all over my eye. I'm then going to take a smaller blending brush into the bronzer shade and just go under my lower lash line a little bit as well. Okie dokie. And then with the first fluffy blending brush and the MAC shadow, I'm just going to put this in my crease and maybe all over actually, I'm not too sure. Because it's got quite a nice little reflective pigment in there as well, a little bit of shimmer. So I feel like it will really like make our eyes nice and shimmery and awake and lovely. That'll do. For mascara, I'm just going to use my favourite mascara. It's the TooFaced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm just going to do one, maybe 2 coats. Right, so I've done my eyelashes. I think I'm just going to leave them like this. I kind of like how fluttery and pretty they are. That was only 1 coat of the mascara as well, which is really, really good. I love how long they make my lashes look and just very, very pretty. So next what I'm going to do is lips. Now for the past 5 or so days that I've been ill, I haven't actually worn lipstick. I've only ever put a load of lip balm on, and I feel like when you're ill you don't really want to bother with lipstick. You don't want to bother with like the faff of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lip oil on. This is the Clarins Instant Light Lip Comfort Oil. I need to get a new one of these because I'm running out. I really love how this lip oil makes my lips feel and look as well. It's so moisturising and it's really glossy as well, so it makes your lips look a little bit bigger because it's so shiny, but it's not sticky. Like, it's not sticky at all. It just sits on your lips perfectly. So yes, and this is the finished makeup look. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit closer so you can get a better look at my skin. I feel like it's made my skin look really, really healthy. My eyes have popped because of the bronzer on my eyeshadow. It makes my eyes pop, and the mascara obviously lifts your eyes and make it look more awake. If you want to, you can put a little bit of highlight on the inner corner and on your brow bone. That will also brighten up the eye area and make it look more alive and awake. It's really natural looking almost, and it's got a lot of colour in it because of the bronzer and the blush, and I just feel like I'm illuminated and just lovely. And so I want to say thank you for watching this video. If you have gotten all the way through, please like the video as well if you enjoyed it, and I would love to hear a comment in the comment section below of what you do to make yourself feel better if you are poorly. Like, I've tried so many things. I pamper myself, I have loads of specialty teas, I clean. That's one of my things. If I'm really, really poorly, I tend to clean everything. So yeah, leave me a comment down below of what you do when you're poorly to make yourself feel better. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!